Hello friends. ITR 1 for the assessment year 2021 has been notified by the Income Tax Department. So in today's video, let's see how to file the ITR 1 for the assessment year 2020-21 online. First, we will see who shall file the ITR 1, that is Form Sahaj. Resident individuals whose total income from salaries, one house property, other sources, that is interest, etc., is less than or equal to 50 lakh and the agricultural income is less than or equal to 5,000 rupees. So, if you are not a resident individual, you cannot opt for this return. If your income from salary, one house property or other sources is greater than 50 lakh, or if your agriculture income is more than 5,000, then also you cannot file income tax return in ITR 1. If you have capital gains or income from business or profession, then also ITR 1 is not applicable for you. Also, if you are holding a directorship in a company or has invested in unlisted equity shares, then also ITR 1 is not applicable. Now let's see how to file ITR 1 online. First, log into www.incometaxefiling.gov.in. Registered users can click on login here. You will be directed to this page. User ID is your PAN number, password, and code you have to enter. Then you will be directed to an update profile details tab. There you can update your address and other details so that the details will be in your ITR will be pre-filled from this database. So you can update or either skip that procedure. So under e-filing tab, income tax return, you have to click. You will be directed to this page. PAN will be automatically filled. You have to select the assessment year. The ITR form will be listed. You have to select the form which is applicable for you. So you have to first check which form is applicable. So I have in the start of the video mentioned all assessees the ITR 1 is applicable. So if ITR 1 is applicable for you, select ITR 1. Filing type as original or revised return. So I am selecting original return. Submission mode can be selected as online or offline. So I have selected prepare and submit online mode. Offline mode, you have to fill the data offline and upload the XML file. This section shows from where the details in the ITR form is pre-filled. That is where the data is fetched from. Because when we go to the ITR, when some details will be automatically filled in. So this section describes from where these details has been fetched. Then the bank account number will be shown based on your last file ITR. So you can select the account to which the refund has to be credited. After that, it is a checklist, checkbox. You have to tick where you will agree to check all the pre-filled data and make the necessary changes to report the correct details. So if the pre-filled data which is automatically filled in the ITR is wrong, you have to correct it and enter the correct details. So this is the ITR 1. There are 9 tabs in this ITR 1. So the first tab is instructions tab. Next one is general information about the assessee. Next 3 are the main details of the ITR 1 and the next 4 are the schedules to this ITR. So here you can see the preview and submit option. Also the save draft where you can save the data in between and exit button. So let's go to the part A, general information. So these are the general details about the assessee which will be pre-filled from the PAN card or PAN database or the profile details in the income tax portal. You can edit the details if you want to update the same. Next, you have to select the nature of employment, whether you are a central government employee, state government employee, working in public sector undertaking, pensioner, others not applicable. So private sector employees can select others. Next, you have to select the section under which you are filing the return, whether you are filing return under section 139(1) on or before due date, 139(4) after due date, 139(5) revised return, 119(2)(b) after condonation of delay. Or if you are filing return in response to notice received from the income tax department, you can select the section under which you received the notice from the department. The sections has been listed, so you can select the section accordingly. So here I am selecting filed under section 139(1). The next section is inserted or is a new change during the current assessment year. This is to be filled by those assessees who are filing the return as they are falling under the 7th proviso to section 139(1). Otherwise, they are not liable to file the return. The 7th proviso of section 139(1) cover the individuals: 1. Who had deposit more than 1 crore in one or more current account in financial year 2019. 2. Who has spent more than 2 lakh on foreign travel for self or any other person. 3. Those who have paid more than 1 lakh as electricity bill in financial year 2019-20. If any of the following 3 conditions are satisfied, you have to select here yes and give the details of the deposit or amount spent in the columns here. So I am selecting no here. Moving to part B, gross total income. First is salary details. You have to give salary as per section 17(1), value of perquisite as per section 17(2), profit in lieu of salary as per section 17(3). All these details will be available in the form 16 part B issued by your employer, or it will be pre-filled based on the form 24Q filed by your employer. So if the details are not pre-filled, you can manually give the details from the form 16 part B. Next, you have to give the details of the allowances exempt under section 10. The details of the allowances have been given here under the drop down menu with the sections. So you can select the allowance which is exempt and give the details of the amount here. There is an add button where you can add as many rows you want. Coming to deductions under section 16 for salary. First one is standard deduction under section 16(1)(a). For the current year, standard deduction is 50,000. The last year it was 40,000. So it has been increased to 50,000 in the current year. Entertainment allowance under section 16(2). This is applicable for government employees. Then professional tax deduction under section 16(3). So the income chargeable under head salaries will be available here. Next is the details on income from house property. You have to give the gross rent received or receivable or lettable value during the year. Give the rent tax paid to local authorities. Then next is the standard deduction, which will be automatically calculated, which is 30% of the annual value. Next is the interest paid on housing loan. The maximum deduction available is rupees 2 lakh. And if you want to avail the benefit of carry forward and set off of loss, then you have to file ITR 2. Give the details of arrears. Then the income chargeable under the head house property will be computed here. I forgot to mention here you have to select the type of house property, whether the house property is self-occupied, lettered or deemed lettered. Based on the selection, the income chargeable under house property will be calculated here. Next is income from other sources. Here under the drop down menu, you can select the nature of income and give the amount here. So here it is given: interest from savings account, interest from deposit, interest from income tax refund, family pension, any other. So you can select the nature of income accordingly and give the amount. So if you are intending to claim deduction under section 80(TT)(a) and 80(TT)(b), that is deduction for interest from saving account or interest from deposit, then you have to declare the income under the income from other sources. Then only the deduction will be available under section under chapter 6A. Here you have to give the deduction under section 57(2)(a). This is applicable if you are in receipt of family pension. Moving to part C, deduction. This is a new change in the ITR one during the current year. This has been made due to COVID-19. The due dates for making any investment deposit or payment for deduction of Chapter 6A has been extended from March to 30th June 2020. So if you have to declare if you have made an investment deposit or payments between 1/4/2020 to 36 June 2020. So if you are selecting S here, then you have to fill the schedule DI. So let's see what is schedule DI. In schedule DI, all the sections under chapter 6A has been listed. So you have to break the investment expenditure or payments made, those made between financial 2019-20 and those made between 1/4/2020 to 30th June 2020. Coming back to deductions, section 80C, 80CCC, 80CCD1. So the aggregate deduction of these three sections is maximum is 1,50,000. Then 80CCD1B, contribution to pension scheme to central government. The deduction under this section is rupees 50,000, which is over and above the deduction of 1,50,000 of the first three sections. Then 80CCD2, contribution to pension scheme of central government by employer. Next is 80D, deduction in respect of health insurance premium. This is the data in this column will be auto populated from the schedule 80D. So there is a schedule available for 80D here. You have to fill the details. This schedule has been broken into two sections. That is the expenditure made for self and family and the expenditure made for parents. So the deductions has to be filled in based on these, and also you have to give whether any of the following persons here are senior citizen or not, because the limit of deductions are different for senior citizen. Coming back to chapter 6A, deductions. Next is 80DD, 80DDB, 80E, 80EE. So if you have made any payments or expenditure under this section, you can fill the details in the columns. Next is 80EEA. This is a new section from the current assessment year. Under this section, deduction up to 1,50,000 is available for interest taken on loan for affordable housing property. So you have to check whether your housing loan satisfy the conditions mentioned under section 80EEA. Next is 80EEB. This is also new section from the current assessment year. Under this section, deduction of 1,50,000 is available for interest on loan taken for purchase of an electric vehicle. Next is 80G, 80GG, 80GGA. For 80G and 80GGA, schedules are available and the values in the column will be auto-populated from the schedule. Let's see the schedule. So this is the schedule for 80G. This has been broken into 4 sections based on the amount of percentage of deduction available for the donations and also qualifying limit. You have to give the details. The details of the donee and the PAN of the donee amount and donation mode has to be given here. Donation cash and donation other mode, that has to be given here. In schedule 80GGA, you have to select the section under which the donation has been made, name of the donee, PAN of the donee and the donation details. So based on the data given in the schedules, the column under chapter 6A, 80G and 80GGA will be auto-populated. Then 80GGC, donation to political party. 80TTA, interest on saving account in case of other than resident senior citizen. So if you are not a senior citizen, a resident senior citizen, and you have received interest from bank deposit saving bank account, then a deduction up to rupees 10,000 is available under section 80TTA. 80TTB, interest on deposit in case of resident senior citizen. So this section is applicable for resident senior citizen and deduction of maximum 50,000 is available on interest from deposit. So to be noted that under 80TTA, deduction is available only for interest from saving bank accounts. 80TTB, interest on deposit is available. deduction is for available for interest on deposit. Next is 80U, deduction in respect of person with disability. So the total deductions will be populated here. So after the chapter 6A deduction, the gross total income will come here. Here you have to give the details of exempt income, the sections, that is agriculture less than income less than or equal to 5,000, and the sections of any exempt income are given. You can list and give the amount here accordingly. The tax payable on total income will be auto calculated here. Next is rebate under section 87A. The rebate under section 87 is available if your total income after chapter 6A deduction is not more than 5 lakh. Maximum rebate available is rupees 12,500 during the current assessment year. Next is relief under section 89. This will be applicable if you are in receipt of arrear of salary or advance of salary, etc. So in order to claim the relief under this section, you have to file form 10E. Then only this relief will be available. So in order to file form 10E, you have to go to e-file, income tax forms, and file form 10E. Then the interest under these sections will be auto calculated. Then here the total tax, fee and interest will be calculated. Moving to next section, tax details. Here the details of the tax deducted or the tax collected source or details of advance tax and self-assessment tax have to be given. Either it will be auto-populated or pre-filled from the 26 AS. If it is not pre-filled, the details can be entered manually based on the Form 16 or Form 16A, Form 16C, Form 27D issued by the deductor or collector, or the based on advance tax or self-assessment tax challange. So you can manually enter the details. So all the details here that is to be entered will be available either in the forms issued by the deductor or collector, or will be available in the Form 26 AS. So details has to be entered. Moving to next tab. So here the total advance tax paid, self-assessment tax, TDS, TCS, all the details will be auto-populated based on the data entered in the tax details tab. So here the total taxes paid will be auto-populated and amount payable and refund will be calculated automatically. Part is the details of the bank account. This will be pre-filled based on your last ITR, and you can select if there are more than one account. You can select the account to which the refund is to be credited. Next is the verification option. You have to fill in the details, whether you are filing the return in the capacity as self or representatives, then the place. Then there are three options available for verification. First one is e-verification at present. Second one, e-verify later within 120 days of e-filing. Next is option other than e-verification, that is sending the ITR 5 through normal or speed post to the address given here within 120 days from date of filing. So you have to opt any of the three here. So I am opting the first one in order to show you how to do the e-verification. Select the first option and give preview and submit. Click OK. So this is a preview of the return. So you have to give the submit button. So there are 6 options for e-verification. You can select any of the option and verify the return and submit the return. Thank you for watching the video. If you have any doubts, you can ask the questions in the comment section. Also, if you like the video, please click on like button and subscribe to my channel. Also, please share this channel with your friends and colleagues for new videos and information. Thank you.